Starting October 18th of 2022, The Sims 4 base game is going to become free to play. If you haven't ever played The Sims, it's a super fun game with lots of things to do. However, for new players, it can be kind of overwhelming to start. So I'm starting this new series of tips for new simmers. I asked on my TikTok a couple weeks ago of what everyone's top tip or what they wish they knew when they first playing Sims, and I've compiled them into a list, and I'm going to tell you about them here. I have a huge list to go over, plus things that I wanted to include as well. So we're going to break it down into a few different videos, probably 4 to 5. We'll see how many it ends up being, but it'll be short 5 to 10 minute videos on some helpful tips for new simmers. So if you're a new simmer, make sure to save the video so you can refer back to it later. Grab a pen and a notebook, and the Sims Academy is now open. That was really cheesy. Sorry. First off, play how you want to play. Play The Sims however you want to play it. It might take a little while to decide how you like to play it, but play how you want to play. The Sims is a sandbox type simulation game. So there's so many ways that you can play, and there's so many game elements that you can use. So it's up to you and your creativity and your preferred style on how you want to play. So play in a way that makes it really, really fun for you. Personally, I love to build in The Sims. I did a lot of gameplay when I had first started playing, but now I really, really love to build. I don't touch gameplay very much, and I definitely don't do casts, which is create a sim, and we'll get into that. But building is what makes it fun for me. There's also simmers who only do gameplay and they tell stories through it. You can live out life how you want to, and it's really, really, really fun. There's also cast players, which is create a sim, which is where you create characters and you create stories for them, or you recreate people in your life or celebrities or all these people, and you just express your creativity through clothing and their fashion and what they look like. There are also players who do a combination of these things, and it's really up to you how you want to play. Please remember that as you begin to play, and search out creators who play The Sims on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. Don't let anyone tell you you have to play The Sims in a certain way. It is totally up to you. Now that you know that, let's get started. All right, so when you first open your game, this is what you'll see. Sometimes the things on the front will be different. They change them up regularly. This is like a spotlight, a little welcome message, and then usually advertising a few things down below. Over here on this side is what we're focusing on. So if this is your first time opening the game, you're not gonna have this resume button that lets you load into your last played save. So you won't have that until you have played for a little bit. There are 5 options here to choose from. The first one is scenarios. Scenarios are somewhat new to the game, and they add a storyline and guided gameplay into the game. There are 4 different levels of scenarios: beginner, easy, intermediate, and hard. They each have a story to go with them and possible outcomes based on how you like to play it. These beginner ones also come with pre-made sims that you can play with. So if it's your first time playing The Sims and you have no idea where to start, these beginner scenarios are a perfect place to start. I really suggest looking through these, see if any of them suit your fancy that you can play with. And to start them, you'll just press play now, and they'll start right up into a new household. And see, here's your family. The next one on this home screen is load game. This is where you'll load up your saves that you'll have once you start playing. And you can also name the saves, you can copy the save paths, or you can also recover saves. And then you can also delete them as well. Next, we're actually gonna skip a few and go down to option. This is your game settings. There's a lot of settings you can mess with, so I'll leave you to explore those on your own. The only thing I'll mention right now is the graphic settings. Unless you're playing on a gaming laptop or PC, I suggest you set your graphics to low, medium, or medium based on your computer. This will allow your game to run smoother and hopefully minimize your computer sounding like a jet engine taking off while you're playing. And if you're playing on a laptop mode, you can enable laptop mode, which enables faster rendering and reduces visual quality, which will make your game run a little bit better. The next option in settings is help, which will take you to EA help on Google, so it'll open up a new browser window and take you right there. The next one is lessons. This gives you a tutorial kind of view at everything that you have in your game. I have a lot of them in here right now because I have pretty much all the packs, whereas if you only have a base game or maybe 1 or 2 packs, you'll only have the base game ones and ones that correspond with your packs that you have. But all you gotta do is just click on one and it'll have all of these subcategories and it'll tell you all about them. It's super, super great if you need to know a little bit more about something, especially if I can't cover it here in this video. These exit buttons I never use. The release notes will take you back to Google, and the credits will just show you who created the game. The next button on here that we're gonna talk about is the gallery button. The gallery is where you can share your own builds and sims or download other people's. We'll go more into depth on this later. We are now going to look at new game, which takes you to create a sim, or CAS for short. CAS. Hello from Editing Lizzie. So conveniently, after I recorded everything for this series, The Sims came out with an update with a whole new help center revamp in the game. So let me tell you about that really quickly. So over here we have Emily. Emily is from the Sims mobile game, and she's here to help guide new players through the game. So when you go into CAS, you have all these different options. You can do tutorial, you can do the lessons, or you can create a sim story from here. And if you ever need her, if you ever close it and you need it again, you can go up here to this little help center button. This will pop up all throughout the game in build mode, live mode, the manage worlds, everything. She'll always be popping up. You can always ask her to leave. You can also turn her off in the settings if you don't want her, especially if you maybe are a more advanced simmer or you just don't really need all that tutorial. If you go down here in the settings to tutorial and tips, there'll be enable guidance system. You can turn that off, and you can also turn off the icon so it'll disappear as well. And if you ever want to reset all the tutorials, you can just press this reset button and it'll restore everything and it'll start from the beginning. Because this is still new to me, I don't really have all the answers for it, so I urge you to explore this on your own. It'll be tutorials that'll help you through the game. I've also heard she gives you money in build mode, so keep that in mind. All right, back to pass list. You have this option to take a little quiz for your sim, and the game will create one for you with personality, traits, aspirations, all of that. Or you can hit no thanks and you can create your sim from scratch, however you would like. If you click on the sim, you'll open up all of these categories. And if you have any new content, they will highlight here as yellow. I don't know what's new in my game. A hamster costume. You'll start with a random sim. Typically the first sim that is randomized is one that's actually created by EA, put into the game as one of the randomized sims. But you can also further randomize it by going down to this randomize button and clicking randomize. And from there, you'll just get purely randomized sims. You can also undo anything that you do or redo with these two buttons. You can also choose to randomize just specific things. So if you just want to randomize their clothing or their face or their body shape, you can by just checking those ones that you want. From here, you can customize your sim. You can change their body shape. You can adjust their weight. You can adjust their muscle mass. And you can even click and drag to change things on their bodies like this. And you can even change things like their posture. If you click on their face, you can do the exact same thing. You can adjust everything by clicking and dragging on their face. And then if you want to get even into the smaller details, you can go into detailed edit mode and change everything even further. Over here on the right, you have all the customization features. So right here, you can adjust their skin tone, which you can customize even more than just these swatches. So if you click on one, you can adjust the tone of it even more. Then if you make a custom skin tone, you can press save right here and it'll save it for the future. You also have different faces you can choose from, skin details, teeth, brows. Some of these you won't have because you'll only have base game, but all of these are right here. Then you can customize their hair, you can change the color. And then right here are subcategories, so short hair, medium hair, long hair, updos, lots of categories for you to look through. There's also facial hair, hats, accessories, and even makeup and face paint. Once you're satisfied with their face, you can click on their body to go back to the full body view to change their clothes. There are 8 different outfit categories. If you don't have the seasons pack though, these 2 don't really mean anything because you're not going to have cold weather or hot weather. So each of these will be for different occasions. So you have your everyday outfit, formal, athletic, sleeping, party, and swimwear, and then hot weather and cold weather. And you can change and customize all of those outfits. You can also add additional outfits in each category by pressing this little arrow button and adding another outfit, and then you can change and you can switch between them by clicking on them. And again, here you can also change their body shape and their skin tone in this section, as well as add tattoos, body hair, and maybe even some scars if you have the werewolf pack. You can also do styled looks if you don't really feel like creating outfits for them. You can scroll through them here. You'll have different ones based off the packs you have, and each of them will have different swatches on here like this. And then from here, there's categories for each outfit item, plus subcategories of different types of sleeve lengths, and full body outfits like costumes, robes, aprons, even overalls, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you look through here, have a lot of fun decorating your sims. If you don't really want to make your own sim, you can also randomize from the gallery. It'll take a random sim from the gallery and put it in your game. Now that we've gone over outfits and looks, now we can go to personalities. So you can give them a first and last name. You can also randomize them here. You can also adjust their pronouns if you'd like to they, them, she, her, he, him, or custom. And then over here, you can select an aspiration. There's a bunch to choose from. And again, categories vary based on what packs you have. Same for traits. There's a certain amount of base game options plus ones that come with other packs. And if you don't want to decide, you can randomize your trait. You do have to still pick an aspiration though. And if you don't want to pick, I say just Google number generators and it'll tell you which one to get. And then over here, you have likes. So some of these come with packs, some of them don't. And you can choose for your sim to have a like or dislike of a certain color, a music style, things like that. And you can have up to 20 likes and dislikes. However, if you don't want to do that, that's totally okay. You can collect likes and dislikes as you play the game. It'll pop up and be like, oh, my sim likes to play the piano. They like the piano preference, and you can choose yes or no. Then if you press this little circle right here with the diamond, this diamond is actually called a plumb bob, and that is the icon of the sims in case you were unfamiliar. And here's where you can choose some more parts about them. So here you can customize their gender. You can go with just the standard male or female. You can also customize it even more into here, as well as sexual orientation. By default, sims are pansexual, but you can change this in here. You can change their age from a toddler to an elder. You can change their walk styles. You can even change their voice. If you have multiple Sims that you are starting with in cast, you can change the relationship in here as well. Now, if you want to add more Sims, you can go down here to the bottom left and click add a Sim. There's a few ways to add it. So you can play with genetics. You can download a Sim from the gallery. You can play with occult Sims if you have any occult packs. You can add a pet if you have cats and dogs. You can add a new Sim, which is just another random Sim. Or you can add a Sim via story, which is that little quiz from before. So if we add another Sim, we'll be randomized with another Sim. And here now we can change our relationship to brother, husband, or fiance. You can also add children. If you want to make a family to start, you can hit play with genetics, choose who the parents are, and create their child. And you can randomize it and change the age and gender. Once you're happy with how your Sim looks, press this check mark. It'll have this little overview. You can change the photo here if you'd like. From here, you can upload them to the gallery, but we'll go over that later. And you can also save and play. So this will take us into live mode. If you have seasons, you can pick a season to play in. From here, you can pick a world. If you only have base game, you'll only have these 3 options: Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, and New Crest. New Crest is a fully empty world. Just lots. This is great for builders if you want to play around with building. Oasis Springs is a more desert themed world, like California, Arizona kind of vibes. And Willow Creek is a traditional East Coast suburban world. So now it's time to move into a house. So you can see down here that we have 20,000 simoleons to start. Simoleons is the form of money here. Anywhere with the green outline is where you can move into. So you can either choose a house. If you want to build them a house, you can choose one of the empty lots. We're just going to move them into right here. You can see that it has it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. It's only 15,000 simoleons. This one's also 1 bed, 1 bath, and that's actually 2 bed, 1 bath. We're just going to go with the 1 bed, 1 bath because that's all we need. You can choose to have it be furnished. You can have it unfurnished if you would like to furnish it yourself, or you can bulldoze a lot if you just want this lot and not the house. And all of those options will adjust how much it costs. Once you pick your house, you will go right into live mode. And then we're actually going to go over this in another video. But that is an overview of how the game menu works as well as cast. In this next episode, we'll be talking all things build mode, cheats, gallery, and camera controls. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe and click the little bell notification down below so that you get notified when the next one is posted. And if you have any questions about anything we talked about today, feel free to leave it in the comments below or pop over to my Twitch channel and I'd be happy to answer your questions while I'm live. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!